this week on the Bubble Chat.
I think they definitely should not be touching on certain topics if you know damn well somebody's family or family member died from this and you talking about sensitive stuff.
Completely fucked with her mental health. And at this point, all I could do is all I could really do is pray and hope she recovers from addiction, because the weight of their history is so heavy. Because when you look back at the industry, so many legendary singers and entertainers seem to be falling into substance abuse by choice. In many cases, they were being mentored by people they trust.
Some type of protection, even though so. You guys should have security or something at these gates or whatever they got to do. Like I'm coming to upload a damn assignment and I get stabbed or whatever happens to me. Wow. I'm calling home to these people's parents and stuff. Bullshit.
She had read the wrong gangster fairy tales. See, she picked up Bonnie and Claudine. It was know how they say it was nasty and raunchy, bitch. He wasn't even speaking in English. Tell me that. This motherfucker wasn't even singing in English, bitch. How you know it was nasty and it was a raunchy? How you say cock in Spanish? How you say cunt in Spanish? How you say gooch toi in motherfucking Latina?
Hey, welcome back to another installment of the show where the conversation never stay on the surface. It's great to have you tune in as we dive back into our ever evolving world of digital culture and entertainment. Therefore, there has been so much shifting in the landscape lately. And today's episode is dedicated to breaking down the least headlines to everyone that's talking about it.
The energy for this new season is at an all-time high, and the goal remains the same: to provide a fresh perspective on the stories that shape our screens, whether you're listening during your daily commute or catching up while getting settled at home. The aim is to keep things engaging, insightful, and straight to the point. There is a lot of ground to cover today, so let's get right into the heart of the matter.
First on the agenda is a look at how recent trends are redefining what it means to be an influencer in today's market. We're seeing massive shifts in how audiences connect with creators, moving away from high gloss production towards more authentic personal narratives. It is a fascinating transition that is changing the rules of the game for anyone with a platform, and we are going to explore what it looks like for the future of media.
We will also be analyzing the impact of these developments and what they might mean for the creators and consumers alike as we move further into the year.
To wrap things up, there will be a few quick hits on some smaller stories that are currently flying under the radar. But you deserve a spotlight, and it's all about finding those, being a part of the community, and leading us to the show to be a part of your routine. Now, let's get into the discussion and start this motherfucking bubble chat. Now, as we queens with Wendy Williams would say, it's time for hot topics.
How
How
you
you
How you
doing?
doing?
Mm-hmm. Well, first up, we have to talk about the fallout for the most recent Netflix special, The Roast of Kevin Hart, because George Floyd's family and friends are not happy. They are calling out Tony
And
Hinchcliffe for being invited back to do another roast, and they are putting blame squarely on Kevin Hart for alleging giving Tony the green light to drop another joke about George, one that they didn't find funny in the slightest.
George Floyd. I watched it. George Foreman, right?
George
George
Floyd.
Floyd. Uh-huh.
Uh
Um,
huh.
Travis Kanes, a spokesman for the Gianna and the George Floyd Foundation, told TMZ that Kevin condoning this kind of material is just sad for the culture. During his set, Tony looked at Kevin and said, "The black community is so proud of you. Right now, George Floyd is looking up at us, laughing so hard he can't breathe." Oh my God, that implies that man is in hell. TMZ claimed that George's family and friends feel Kevin, at the very least, should have told Tony to stay off of the topic. They are baffled and honestly disgusted by what they see as Tony's obsession for telling George Floyd jokes, even labeling him as a racist comedian. They're left wondering how Kevin would feel about these kind of jokes, as if it were one of his own close friends who had died instead of George. When you have a platform as massive as Netflix roasts, where the rules usually say nothing is off limits, do you think the host has a responsibility to set boundaries on certain real world tragedies, or does that defeat the purpose of a roast?
Okay, so I watched it. I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead.
I didn't say that.
No, it's okay. Go
Oh,
ahead.
so I watched the roast, right? But I did not see anything that was saying something about George, unless I missed that part. But as a comedian myself, and you being a comedian, Adonis, some things you should not be talking about. Somebody lost their life on this, so I don't remember them talking about that. But the family is outraged, and Tony Hipcliffe, yeah, he was talking a lot of stuff. He really was. And they even got at Cheryl Underwood. Like everybody, all these white comedians was getting at Cheryl Underwood. Like what? Like she's a legend in the game. And then she got up there and shut them all down. And I was like, as she should, and had a standing ovation. And while y'all just was, they was like, and she said, Kevin, how you gonna let all these white comedians get at me like that? So I love Kevin Hart. He's the reason why I'm a comedian. But I think they definitely should not be touching on certain topics if you know damn well somebody's family or family member died from this and you talking about sensitive stuff. Hell no, that's not okay.
I'm actually disgusted. Because not only was this disgusting, it's just ridiculous to me at this point. It's as clear as the sky is blue that Tony Hinchcliffe straight up disrespected George Floyd, his entire family, and his legacy. Because let's be real, George Floyd's death is nothing to be considered funny. We all saw that video. We saw him being fatally pinned down with a knee on his neck for nearly 9 minutes while screaming, "I can't breathe," and cried out for his mother. When we talk about African Americans losing their lives at the hands of the police, we have to remember that in most cases it takes far too long for any kind of legal accountability to happen. There is a deep generational trauma there that just doesn't go away. And don't even get me started on that other joke, Shane Gillis saying Kevin is so short they had to lynch him from a bonsai tree. Like, are you fucking kidding me right
Yeah, it
now?
was a lot of racism going on.
Lynchings were violent, public acts of terror used to control Black people in the 19th and 20th centuries, especially in the South. That isn't edgy humor. It's tapping into a history of like literal torture. And I just feel like the comedy community has to do better. We have to stop using the "it's just a joke" card to protect these massive egos. Because when you make a comment like Tony did, it doesn't matter if you label it a joke or not. People are going to be offended because it is offensive. You can try to hide behind freedom of speech to dodge the consequences and show you have the right to say it, but you also have to be ready for people to call you out. There is absolutely nothing funny about Black citizens being lynched or being killed unfriendly by the police. Period. We just have to do better than this because using someone's last words as a punchline is just awful.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I say it all the time that I have rights. I have rights to talk about ugly babies, old people, and the handicaps. And I let my own condition be the reason why I should, could, and am able to speak the way that I do. That's just an excuse, and that is a punchline. The reason why I said that is because there is a difference in a punchline. And a punchline comes from a lesson learned and or victory. There was a political social lesson learned in how we lost George Floyd's life. There was no victory. So if we ragtagged that cop, yes. If we talked about that cameraman that stood there patiently holding that motherfucker like he was a tripod himself, yes, we can. But we can't make light short of the tragedy that happened that we all witnessed. We can Google this his death right now. It's really
Yes.
funny, right? So and I say that only because I've said a lot of offensive, unforgivable things that I'm totally unapologetic. I'm totally unapologetic about it. But I don't think I've never made a joke of a social unjust that we all witnessed basically across the world.
Period.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Period. Okay, hold on.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was uncalled for. I mean, if they did that, I mean that the lynching from the tree was uncalled for. It was a lot of stuff that they were saying in there, and I was like,
I
how is
thought
this
you were
okay?
sure what they lynch him from a stool.
They said that Kevin Hart was so short they had to basically cut the
Like
ropes and lynch him or something like that.
from a bonsai tree.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We have to talk about 411 on the pop star Britney Spears, who had a DUI charge dropped Monday morning after reaching a plea deal with prosecutor. There was a charge of the official reducing down to went reckless. What the hell is that? Now there is some other petty specific conditions to this plea that we need to look at. What's that word?
Notable.
Notable.
Notable that she's been placed on a 12-month probation that couldn't become a real problem for her if she has any run-ins with the law over the next year. This is a point where things get a bit shaky, especially since TMZ has reported that this could be an issue given her history of travel linked to Mexico more than once, purchasing Ardell. If she
Adderall.
Adder- not the Adderall. If she gets caught with anything she doesn't have a legal script for, she's in hot water. On the topic of drug restrictions, she has been ordered to stay and consistently with her mental health substance abuse treatment. That means she has to meet all with a
Psychologist.
psychiatrist once a week, and a physical therapist twice a month. How now courts
It's
isn't
like
fucking around with it here because Brittany's violations. Any of these conditions are at stake, incredible high for her right now. Given strict conditions and due to her past struggles, do you think the court order structure is exactly what she needs to stay on track, or is 12 months probation just setting her up for potential stumble?
I truly
it's both
believe
ways.
that we're seeing with Britney and her struggles with substance abuse is the result of things getting extreme because of the sheer trauma she returned. Because you have to remember, you have to look at 13 years of that conservatorship, her past, and the absolute control of the music industry had over her at the time. It completely fucked with her mental health. And at this point, all I could really do is pray and hope she recovers from addiction because the weight of the history is so heavy. Because when you look back at the industry, so many legendary singers and entertainers didn't even fall into substance abuse by choice. In many cases, they were being mentored by people they trust. These mentors would hand them something and claim it wasn't a drug. They'd frame it as a way to help them grow, prosper, and handle that fatigue. They tell these artists that it wasn't just a tool to help them stay sharp and successful. Because the reality is that being in the music industry, especially under a controlling label, is like working 24/7. You're passing from studio sessions to interviews, photo shoots, fan meet and greets, and constant paparazzi moments. In the beginning, these entertainers might actually enjoy that pace because whatever they're taking is giving them these positive effects or a temporary high. But once these things become traumatizing, they find themselves getting more and more addicted, spiraling, depending on how dark the situation gets. We've seen this tragic cycle before with icons like Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, Whitney Houston. They all went through substance abuse while at the top of their games, and it ultimately led to a fatal turn. It's a terrifying pattern, and it's even more scarier when you look at how drugs are being handled today. I recently came, across a video by attorney Adam Ashby, where he talks about how certain drugs are being made to look like candy, like Skittles or Sweet Tarts, to make them look interesting. He pointed out the terrifying reality that it only takes 2 milligrams of fentanyl to end a life. So when you
That's right.
combine that kind of show of danger with the mental of the toll of the industry, it's a miracle anyone makes it out, and it's why we have to keep rooting for Britney.
My
Well,
thing about go ahead.
so Britney is the setup. Britney, eye patch, pussy, Spears, bitch. This is a setup. They're trying to take all the money you got left. Now, everything I concur with everything that you just said about um everything that she's gone through, the predicament that she's in. It fucks with her mental state, right? You know, they say money can't buy you love. Money is the root of all evil. You know, money is not happiness.
Money can't buy happiness,
Yes,
and
Brittany got
not everything's
all the
great.
money in the world, but I just want to know, bitch, how much does a friend cost? Britney Spears got all the money, all the resources in the world. For her to have to drive across the motherfucking border, bitch, for Adderall,
Mm.
you ain't got a partner nor a homie. Like, I really want you to think about her type of celebrity, right? Britney was Beyonce before Beyonce was Beyonce.
And she was a
She
Disney kid.
is a
All the Disney kids are
yes,
fucked.
she is a top prototype, right? She has everything at her dispense. She's not dyslexic or can't read or illiterate like R. Kelly. She does. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like she's not demanding or diva as what Mariah Carey is, right? You know what I'm saying? Super superintendent, all these things. It is so disappointing in how we see people have these triumphant careers, and then you just look like a whistling tea kettle on the stove at the end of the day. Like, it's just too much motherfucking pressure. I pray for Britney Spears and them cheering. Cause bitch, you got too much motherfucking my bitch. How much does a friend cost, bitch? You could buy me. I
Okay,
am a good friend.
let me tell you something about this Britney Spears stuff.
A
Okay,
bad
Britney been doing drugs for years. Okay, and we
like
gonna stop giving Britney a pass. Talk about all this goddamn sponsorship and all of this. A drug. Okay, only thing I can speak about with the drugs because I used to do them. A drug is a choice. You feel me? A motherfucker might want to get off, but they not ready to get off. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you do got to get on a little bit of probation and go take a little P test. Yeah, I used to do the drugs. Don't judge. You feel me? But now I don't. So, and I can tell y'all what I used to do. That's why I can speak on this Britney Adderall situation. Now, a motherfucker cut her hair off, Disney cap. All the Disney
denied the
kids,
drug test.
yeah, all the kids from
Uh-huh.
Disney are fucked. I think Raven is a little fucked too, but she the only one that kind of made it out of all of this shit. Okay, so after you did all of that legal shit and you went through all the shit that you went through with your parents and all of that, bop 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 bop. Now you crossing the border on your own because you ain't going through none of that no more. So you,
By yourself.
yeah, I know them kids might have stressed you out. What the fuck ever. Like you said, there should be somebody in the U.S. that got some goddamn Adderall. I just had some. She should have called me. However, what I'm saying is, it's bullshit. And we ain't finna just keep on letting Britney get the goddamn, oh, I'm still shaving my head. I'm still in this partnership. None of those things are going on now. So what's the problem now? It's
She
a choice to do drugs. It's a
she
choice.
is damaged.
Okay, we're praying for the damage. I understand the damage. We're gonna pray for it. But we also gonna pray that you stay off these drugs and do what these people tell you to do. Hello.
I don't think that's an option.
Oh, it's an option. You do drugs because you want to, not because somebody made you. So I can't keep giving. I was on drugs for a long time, and then I got off. But people better be on drugs. Be
For
like,
me,
oh my God, I can't get off drugs. That's bullshit. You can get off if you want to. You can stop if you want to. It's just automatically stopping and doing what the fuck you say you're gonna do and standing on business. Because if you want, just like you got that career, you can stop doing drugs. Hello. You was consistent when you got that goddamn career and you shaved your head and we loved you on Disney. You was consistent then. So you can't get consistent off of Adderall. You got 12 months to show the people that you can stay away from a little Adderall. Get some goddamn gabapentin. They put you to sleep, and it's legal. However, I don't know. I'm reading Britney. I love Britney though. Don't get me wrong. But come on now, I'm tired of Britney. And every other couple months, you're cutting your hair, you're having problems, and then you're just breaking down, and you're not even Britney Spears no more. You're just Britney. Spears is gone a long time ago.
girl, that is eye patch pussy. That is Britney eye patch pussy Spears.
Man. And we just want to keep giving her passes. Well, we're praying for you,
Her whole
Brittany.
her
Praying you
whole
don't get no more
life,
Adderall. I'm
her
praying.
whole life is the title of her follow up motherfucking single, bitch.
I, I
I
think Brittany be coming
did that,
back. I think she do some weird shit every couple years to get back in the spotlight
but
because she
she's
washed
rich,
up.
girl. You
So
could
that's
buy.
what I think it is.
And I'm an even better friend on payroll, bitch. Let me say it again. I'm a good friend. I am an even better friend on payroll.
Period. And you can find
Oh,
somebody in the U.S. for the
oh,
goddamn cocaine and everything else you probably putting up your goddamn nose.
oh.
Okay, I'm on
Alrighty,
her head.
I'm sure by now everyone has heard about this absolutely terrifying attack on a student education platform, Canvas. Over these past few weeks, a massive cyber attack shut down the platform, which is used by universities and K-12 schools all across the U.S. This happened right on that Thursday, depriving students and teachers of essential classroom materials at the worst possible time, right when many are taking or preparing for final exams. According to CNN, a University of Washington student who tried to log into Canvas around noon that Thursday was greeted by a message from the hacking group Shiny Hunters, which claimed to have breached the platform's parent company. The hack occurred after the group warned Instructure, the parent company of Canvas, in a note to pay or leak, claiming that they had access data from millions of users, including students, teachers, and staff. On May 1st, Instructure confirmed it experienced a cybersecurity incident perpetrated by a criminal threat actor. While they said that breach was contained the next day, usernames, email addresses, student IDs, and communication from several institutions were exposed. Shiny Hunters claimed in a ransom note on May 3rd that they had breached the data of 275 million individuals and have access to several billions of private messages. They initially gave a May 6th deadline, but in a new note this past Thursday, they gave impacted schools until May 12th to negotiate a settlement. As of right now, campus is fully back online, but it doesn't change the fact that this was unimaginably scary and shocking. With so much of our personal data and private messages tied to these education and platforms, does this breach make you rethink how much we rely on a single system for the entire country schooling? What are your guys' thoughts on this overall?
I didn't even know nobody got hurt on campus. Like that's the one place that you send your kids to when they leave your house and stuff, and you will pray that that would be a safe place for your kids to be. And for somebody
Mm.
to get hurt on campus, you know what I mean? It's already terrifying letting our kids go out into the world when they get grown to have to go to college. But now it's even more threatening if they're coming onto their campus hurting a fucking student. Like that's mind blowing. They need to up security. They need to have people. I feel like the schools should have been had some type of protection going on anyway. Like, period. Ain't no way in hell my kid is at this school and something going on. Like there's nobody to watch over the campus. There's nobody that's watching these damn is this a college, right? I mean,
Um,
whatever it is.
yeah, Canvas. It's basically Canvas. Canvas is a school platform, student education platform where students basically upload assignments, take exams, and all that. So,
Well,
but
so
yeah, but
still
yeah.
it needs to be some type of protection Even though so, you guys should have security or something at these gates or whatever they got to do. Like I'm coming to upload a damn assignment and I get stabbed or whatever happens to me. Wow, how I'm calling home to these people, parents and stuff. Bullshit. They need to do something about that.
You know, while I was in college, I didn't face a full-blown campus shutdown like this, thankfully. But I vividly remember getting these phishing emails. One in particular really stood out. I received an email from what looked like another student's account saying my Microsoft student account was on the verge of being disabled. It told me to click on the link to prevent it, and when I did, it took me to a form asking of everything: my student ID, email, portal password, my full name, you name it. Thank God I didn't fill all of that out, because when I went to the IT services department, the employee confirmed my suspicion that student's account had been hacked and the whole thing was a total scam. Because it's a similar vibe to a phone call once I got from my bank claiming that there was suspicious activity. I find it odd because I hadn't received a single notification via email or text, which usually happens. Imagine my surprise when I realized the caller had spoofed the bank's actual customer services number. I hung up, called the real number from the app, and the agent confirmed that there was zero suspicious activity and no weird transactions. And as far as this Canvas incident goes, we have to realize that this isn't exactly the new territory. We've seen a ransomware attack on Final Site where that affected over 8,000 schools worldwide, and a similar case happened back in 2020. I've been educating myself a bit on cyber and data attacks, and from my point of view, these scam emails and messages are designed to be incredibly believable, and they play on your benefit of the doubt, making you think you're helping resolve an issue by handing over your bank info, logins, or social security number. They're even getting sophisticated enough to use artificial intelligence to pretend a loved one is in jail and needs bail money, when in reality, it's just someone trying to take your or hard-earned cash. In this day and age, it's imperative that you are cautious about who you're giving your personal information to. If you have a gut feeling that something about a message is rubbing you the wrong way, trust that gut and get yourself out of that situation immediately. If you get an email from your school that feels off, don't click anything. Call the office directly or walk into the department in person to verify it. If your bank calls you, hang up and call the company's official customer service line yourself. And if you receive a frantic message from a loved one asking for money because they're supposedly in jail, stop and call that loved one physically to hear their voice. Verification is your best defense. And hopefully, the students and staff using Canvas didn't give into those messages while the system was compromised, because once that the info is out there, it's hard to get it back. It really is.
I'm going to say it like the great late Whitney Houston said. I believe the children are our future.
Somebody was just doing that song.
Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Oh, Mima, the comedian, was just doing that on her set.
Show them all the beauty that they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. So I said that to say, or to stress, I don't know how much belief we have or what extent we don't have for our children, because our children are more vulnerable these days, from this cyber ransom bully attack to all of the mass shootings that have happened on school campuses across our nation. Mm-hmm. It sounds heartless, and it's even more so embarrassing. It was unfair
Yeah.
to children up today, because when I went to school, I graduated in '99. So when
That's
I
the year I
went
was born.
from my 12th year grade of education back to my first day in pre-K or Head Start, I was never repressed of my African American heritage or history. I was not. I was the schools were they were not segregated. I didn't. My favorite teacher was my white second grade teacher, Miss Smith. It's just so many things that I did not experience post education and pre. I had a wonderful educational career, and I'm so offended that these kids today can be scholars and be bilingual and can adapt and come from another country and get their citizenship and all these things. And then your ass just end up a victim of a mass shooting when you were just doing your best in your multiplication, your fractions, your history, your science. Like, I believe the children are our future.
You gonna sing it again. You is a fucking bitch.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
About to make me cry. No, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
Fucked up.
So, you know why I gotta talk about this person? I don't know, nephew. This is a setup. So we're gonna have to talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh Lord.
He just took the concept of a gender reveal party to a very dark place. He was celebrating his girlfriend Alai Alade Alta's pregnancy this past Friday, but according to him, he only had plans to celebrate at the results show that if he were having a boy, to grow up the man that he would never be.
What?
TMZ. Tekashi 6ix9ine was telling his group of streamer pals, including Aiden Ross and Neon, I don't think they meant Neo, that he just wanted a son. And if the gender results showed that it was a baby girl, they was heading to the abortion clinic. Nigga, that sound like murder. The streamers around him were noticeably shocked and tried to play it off as a joke to cut the tension, but he doubled down and on the statement with Alade standing right next to him with the baby inside of her. He even went as far as to say she was in total agreement to the motherfucking plan. Murder! As the live stream went on, he eventually revealed.
Going back to jail.
Yeah, that too. But they were indeed having a boy, and I don't even know if we should thank God for that. And so, as the reports are saying, crisis averted, Lord. While it's still unclear exactly how far along Alade is in her pregnancy, she did announce she was expecting late last month. Bebblers, when you hear a public figure make comments like that during what is supposed to be a celebration of life, do you think it's just a case of someone doing anything for clout and shock value, or does it cross the line into being genuinely disturbing?
First of all,
Go
you
ahead.
having a baby with 6ix9ine Tekashi, the nigga that put the rainbow in his hair and told on everybody and put his family in danger to get shot the fuck up. Let's talk about that. Why would you have a baby with a known snitch who told on everybody? And then he said that he gonna have an abortion if it's a girl, and the baby is damn near due. Murder. Then he gonna snitch on the girl and say it was her idea. Murder. Everybody go to jail. And Takashi gonna be the only one out telling on somebody else. So who the fuck having a baby with him anyway? I'm beating her ass. First of all, he got more weave and rainbow than all the rainbow, and we hella gay. I don't understand it. He told on 79 people. His other baby mama put her in danger. Told on her too. Why the fuck would you have a baby with Takashi?
She had read the wrong gangster fairy tale. See, she picked up Bonnie and Claudine. It wasn't Bonnie and Clyde. It was Bonnie and Claudine.
That's some bullshit. All of this is some bullshit. These topics are great. But baby, what?
Let me tell you what happened. What happened was before he was all of what you said, Tekashi was a New York underground gay porn star, getting that little booty blow the fuck up. Okay? like a pool floaty. I'm telling you now.
Sorry, baby, I'm too loud.
I,
The baby
I
like, what
don't
the fuck?
I don't have no reason to lie, husband. I know you hear me. I ain't got no reason to lie, husband. But
That's I'm
um,
done.
I do know there is, that he don't know the law. No, what state are they in? Tell me that first before this even becomes a legal conversation. Because
Right.
depending on where he stay, it is illegal to have an abortion. And if you cross the state line
Huh.
Hey Google,
to have an abortion,
what state is
like,
rapper Tekashi
so
69 in?
um I don't want to talk about this girl unused birth portal, okay? Because whether if it was a little girl, boy, trans, or a goddamn leprechaun come up out that damn thing, girl, you got a lifetime of heartache and a hysterectomy of motherfucking terms. This thing gonna work. This thing is too much, and it's too much. And here's the thing: you're gonna have a baby, and the baby is supposed to be a blessing, all this and all that.
Right.
And but the gag is you done already put a curse on the baby. Now this is what I really want us to really think about. Now, did you not want your why do you want a son? Are you going to live vicariously through him? Are you going to protect him? Are you going to instill in him some
Right.
things? Right? And if by chance,
You gonna teach him to snitch.
right, and then if by chance it was or it is a girl, because sometimes the what's that, the sonogram be wrong, right?
Right.
So
So what
what if
if it is a
it
girl? Then
what if
what?
it's a little girl? Are you gonna love her any less?
He gonna teach her how to snitch and put rainbow clippings in her hair.
I mean, it's just like and look, and here's another thing, which is the most thing all important above all. It is really not the time to really be trying to have children if you're not trying
Honestly, I agree.
to have a family. It's just not about offspring and just having babies. Not to have a family. Are you trying to nestle down and have a good, safe environment, loving and nurturing? For a boy, girl, man, and woman. It doesn't matter.
I'm
But here I go. Sound like I'm having menopause. On to the next.
I'm really torn on whether Takashi was actually joking or not. But the bottom line is, either
He
way,
wasn't.
that this isn't something he should be mentioning at all.
Right.
I've spent time educating myself in health from middle and high school health classes to taking a course in community college, and the science of it is really simple. When it comes to the baby's gender during pregnancy, it is completely random. It is not in the control of either parent, regardless of the family history or how many brothers or sisters you have. That the comment he made can easily trigger both women and men who have lived through the nightmare of reproductive coercion. Because we're talking about situations where a partner is forced or pressured into an abortion simply because gender wasn't what they had hoped for. It's a traumatic reality for many who are trying to escape those situations or who feel like they have to give in. And it's definitely something that I did not find funny. But
Yeah.
beyond that, something about this whole pregnancy feels off to me
Mm.
because when you look at his history, we can't forget that charge he had back in 2015 involving sexual performances with a minor.
I forgot all about that.
When the baby is
That's
born,
because he was
all
a
I can do is
sexual
really quick.
performer.
Sorry, Adonis. I'll finish up really quick. Sorry, Adonis. Is all I can really do is hope he doesn't teach his son that you can't just be shielded from the consequences of your actions because of the status in the music industry. Becoming a father is a huge milestone, a bit and a responsibility, but it's never going to erase the fact that what happened in 2015 was appalling. You can't just parent your way out of a track record like that. You really can't.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mm-mm-mm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-mm-mm.
Girl.
Wow.
Alrighty, well, we have to talk about the numbers and the noise following the big game back in February. Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show pulled in a massive 128 million views, but it also garnered intense backlash from the people who were completely pissed off about the content of the show. According to the reports, over 2,000 complaints were sent to the FCC following Super Bowl outlets. Out of those more than 100 specific messages claimed that the Puerto Rican superstar's performance was raunchy, full of dirty sex talk, and all around inappropriate for a broad scale of that scale.
What?
I really just came to this topic to get my opinion, honestly. And the people who made these complaints brought all of this upon themselves. It's been like 3 months since the halftime show, and it's wild to me that people are still trying to find reasons to complain about Bad Bunny's performance. I've watched that a few times now, and it proved absolutely nothing that these critics are claiming. They're labeling the performance raunchy, full of dirty sex talk, and all around inappropriate. But let me remind you, in some of these official complaints, people couldn't even be bothered to spell the words correctly. You didn't have to look like you don't have to like the art, but at a certain point, the concept is none of your fucking business. Because I thought the halftime show was amazing to this day because of the message it sent and the culture it represented. It's interesting to me that these same critics didn't seem to use that same energy for the all American halftime show centered around Kid Rock. We all know he has lyrics in his catalog that are actually problematic regarding underage girls, yet that gets a pass. It's a total double standard. What people need to realize is that what we saw on the stage was a professional choreographed expression of Barrero and Sandungueo. I do hope I'm saying both of those right. This style of dance was born in Puerto Rico in the late 1980s along reggaeton. It's like a definite dance from an powerful expression of Puerto Rican cultural identity, mirroring influences from the Dominican Republic and traditional Caribbean sounds. So, was there grinding moves? Yes. Was there a little bit of twerking? Yes. But people are out here complaining as if those dancers were doing pornography stunts on camera, which we did not see. All we saw was backup dancers who were fully clothed, executing high energy moves. In fact, an intimacy choreographer on set specifically was made to ensure every performer felt safe and comfortable with these specific moments. Because when you understand the history of Pedero, you see it is about the vibrant energy and the cultural pride, not intimacy. So to see that on the world's biggest stage was a major moment for representation. If people are still complaining in May that it wasn't for kids, I mean,
Right.
grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. We should be celebrating the fact that a Puerto Rican superstar got to share his roots with 128 million people. Period.
Right. Why the fuck are we talking about something that happened in February? Like, go to bed.
I just want to know how they say it was nasty and raunchy, bitch. He wasn't even speaking in English. Tell me that. Tell me that. Tell me that. This motherfucker wasn't even saying in English, bitch. How you know it was nasty and it was a raunchy? How you say cock in Spanish? How you say cunt in Spanish? How you say gooch toi in motherfucking Latina? Tell me right now. I just want to know. Just tell me that. I just want to know. Tell me that.
I gotta
And
have to
wait
take
a
the
minute.
power.
Cardi B was a part of the set. Camera Grace right across her, and she had her old infront. She was sitting down and had on all her clothes. I don't understand how they said any of those things. And I'm just I'm just go back to square one. How they say he was talking nasty and raunchy, motherfucker wasn't even speaking in English.
They just dragging at this point.
I just that's all. I'm gonna just leave it there. It starts and begins right there. The motherfucker wasn't even speaking in English. He wasn't even speaking in broken English. Tell me.
uh, as we continue to celebrate of the APPI Heritage Month, we have to turn our spotlight towards the men who literally changed the way an entire city eats. If you ever stood in a long line for a food truck or enjoyed a fusion dish that felt like a perfect map of a devised neighborhood, devised, is that word?
First,
Diverse,
Diverse.
diverse
Diverse.
neighborhood, you would, oh my God, my eye, you will have him to thank. He is widely recognized as one of the
Architects.
architects of the modern food truck movement, and his impact on the
Culinary culture.
culinary culture is hard to overstate. I talked about the legend I talked about the legend Rob Cho.
Born in South Korea and raised right here in California, Roy Choi is the mastermind behind Kogi Barbecue. Back in 2008, he had the brilliant and at the time radical idea to combine Korean flavors with Mexican street food. By putting Korean short rib into a taco and selling it from a roving truck, he didn't just create a viral meal, he created a bridge between communities. He used the early days of social media to tell people where the truck would be, turning a simple lunch into a city-wide scavenger hunt that brought people from all walks of life together. Roy Choi has always been an advocate for food justice and social equality. He's used this platform to speak out about food deserts and the importance of making fresh, delicious meals accessible for underserved neighborhoods.
Welcome back to the show. We hope that you enjoyed that short break, got you a snack because it's time to shift gears. We're covering a lot of heavy headlines today, from the legal battles to the industry to the okay, from the legal batteries, from the legal battles to the industry drama. But now it's time to take a little tip down memory lane. This is one of my favorite parts of the episode where we get to step away from the 24-hour news circle, which revisits moments and shapes us. It's time for us to do a throwback topic. There is something so non-gistic about looking back at the news and general trends, the music and the pop culture milestones that define the previous year. Whether it's an anniversary or a classic album, or looking back at a fashion trend, we definitely participate in this segment. It's all about celebrating where they've been. It's a chance to reflect on how much things have changed and sometimes how much they stay exactly the same. What you got for us, nephew?
Okay, so for today's throwback topic, we are diving into a story I actually meant to discuss last year, but somehow it slipped through the cracks because it's a bit of a departure from our usual vibe, but it's a tribute that is long overdue. We're taking it back to the 90s, specifically to the world of Nickelodeon and a movie that defined a lot of our childhoods, Good Burger.
Paul, what year were you born in, nephew?
99.
And what was this show? When was it started or created?
Good Burger,
Yeah.
1997.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So earlier last year we received the heartbreaking news that Jan Schwieterman, who many of us remember as the iconic villain of Kurt Boswell, the owner of Mondo Burger, had passed away. It was a shock to those of us who grew up watching him and go head to head with Keenan and Kel. However, a detail that many might have missed at the time was that he didn't actually pass away on the day the news was announced last March. It actually happened the previous month before, on February 28th. His brother, whose name I decided not to mention here, confirmed the news through a very moving Facebook post that he shared that Jan had been battling an incredibly aggressive form of stage 4 cancer. It all moved so quickly, and the family held his funeral just a few days later on March 4th, 2025. Jan was only 52 years old. I'm just curious to know your thoughts on this experience overall and on what it's like when the death of a loved one has passed away so long ago before we even announced. How do you feel about it?
I just will make sure that they put the right date on the tombstone. Did they
They
put
did.
the March date or did they put the February date on the
I swear
tombstone?
we talked about this last week too, right? Or am I tweaking?
You tweaking.
Um, oh, we haven't talked about it at all, to be
You
honest.
tweaking. Yeah, you tweaking. It's all right. It's okay.
I thought we was gonna talk about this.
No.
Okay, well, I thought I said when I was tweaking then that my brother died the same way and was gone for like 30
Oh yeah,
days.
it wasn't him. It was your brother, girl.
No, we had a conversation about this. That's what I'm saying about the Nickelodeon stuff. About I could have sworn we had a conversation about it. Okay,
Matthew,
well,
another story that
We
involved
did. We did. I was on the phone with you
oh,
yesterday.
okay, because I was like, wait a minute, am I tweaked out? Okay, I
it.
was going to say I've been doing
You
some drugs
are.
that I don't even know that I've been doing. But anyway, I was saying that we lost my cousin like that and didn't know the date that he died and my brother. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
and
fucked
that's
up
what I
that your loved ones be just
was
sitting there. and nobody know your ass is dead. They need to do better with checking in on people and reporting the news. How y'all gonna tell the man died 6 months ago or however many months ago, and we just now hearing about it? That's some bullshit too. I slapped the shit out of the reporter that did the news. This is some bullshit. Don't even say my death at all. If it's three
Did
months
they
down the
get the
line,
date
long as
right
just let me
on the
go.
tombstone? Matters, girl. Did they get the date right on the
Probably
tombstone?
not. We don't know the exact date.
Oh, even the
Shit.
obituary, bitch. Did we come to the funeral on the wrong day?
Probably so. They
Oh,
made up a date. Shit.
oh,
That's
ooh.
fucked up. That's some disrespectful shit.
I
God
mean,
damn. If
oh
I
my
die and y'all motherfuckers don't announce it right away, don't announce it at
Birdman
all.
said, respect my name. This man said, give me my date.
Put
Respect
some
my date.
respect on my date. Huh.
Oh, well,
Wowzer.
look, and they, you have something to say, nephew?
That's crazy.
Look,
I want to
they,
say something real quick. I want to
go
say
ahead.
something. It is always incredibly heartbreaking to hear that an icon we know from a movie that shaped our childhood has passed away. You know, as someone who watches Good Burger from time to time, I'll be honest, I wasn't like a diehard super fan, but I definitely knew
Mm-mm.
how successful and beloved that movie was. So when the news finally hit the headlines, I was genuinely shocked. What kind of got me off guard a little bit was learning that Jan had actually passed away quite a bit earlier than the What kind of
You
caught me
all right?
off guard a little bit, though, was learning that Dan had actually passed away quite so long ago. Then the news broke, and we didn't even know about it because the funeral had already taken place. Now, it's possible that a news reporter just had to come across his brother's Facebook post a month late, and that's when it started to circulate. But the part of
That's
me
how
that
they
I
want
truly
it.
believe is the part of me that I truly believe in is the I cannot take it down seriously. Hold on.
Nephew, is you about to cry or are you trying to suppress laughter?
Both.
Well,
I'm trying to understand what the hell is going on.
Damn.
You don't know what got
I
you turned
cannot take
up.
both of you serious, to be honest.
The way I got this, how you gonna see? You know what?
You got two comedians on your damn show.
Baby, and we ain't said a word. We are listening intently to
I'm
your
over here eating some
fucking
damn
entry, and
gummy
you
bears. Nephew, that's fucked up. You gonna throw
and
it
I'm
up
sitting
there.
there blaming my hair topless. You gonna sit there and blame it on us.
We didn't even say nothing.
Okay, let me calm down. Let me calm down. Let me calm down.
Okay.
Okay. I
Ooh.
was saying the part of me that I truly believe in this side that understands exactly why they chose to keep it to themselves for a while is the reality is not every death gets announced the day it happened or even a day after. When a family is dealing with that level of loss, the request for privacy has to be respected. It's very likely that Jane's family just didn't want the media reporting on it until they felt comfortable and had a chance to breathe. And I've seen that firsthand. My non-biological sister, who was my aide from the third grade to the ninth grade, because of my superpower at school, lost her father 2 summers ago, and her sister eventually told me that he didn't pass away at the moment she first texted me. It happened during the same week my own grandfather passed away, and they chose to keep the news to themselves in that moment because they didn't want to
Yeah.
pile more more
Mm-hmm.
sadness onto me during such a heavy week. They waited until they were ready, and I absolutely understand why I wasn't told that day. Because, not everyone is ready to share their grief with the world immediately. And I think that's something we should all be more understanding of. It's about letting people grieve on their own terms. And I just continue to send my deepest condolences to Jan's entire family, and may they continue to find peace and strength in each other.
Definitely. I respect that.
Child, get that date right. Because on the obituary or on the headstone, it says the sun rising and the sun set. Now, the sun rising of this episode of the motherfucking Bubble Chat was amazing. But the sun setting is always nice. That brings us to an end of another episode. And I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me and the panel and being a part of our conversation today. Whether you're listening at home, in the car, or while you're getting things done, I truly appreciate you making this a part of your routine. It's always a journey when you get together and break things down and look at the world from a different perspective. So I hope today's episode gave you something to think about and or maybe just a little escape from the noise of your week. Remember to stay curious, stay kind, and to keep looking for the deeper story behind the headline. If in fact you have enjoyed today's show, please make sure you are following along so you never miss an update. I love seeing the community grow and hearing how topics resonate with you all. We have so much more in store for you this season, and I want to share with you all that in the next one. Until the next one, take care of yourselves and each other. Keep this conversation going. Stay grounded, and I will catch you all in the next episode of the motherfucking Bubble Chat. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Good night.